as Blitzkrieg Pro, we're acting up. Andy Brown, main man Oro.
Another situation, first time matchup, that show of mutual respect. Oro online had said that this promises to be a classic, invited the Thick Daddy to bring his very best. Andy Brown's only too happy to oblige.
Oh, yes. Yet to meet a challenge that he didn't like in that Blitzkrieg ring.
We're getting a nice tight collar and elbow tie up here. Looks like they've made it to the rope, so Ref Thompson is having to split them apart. Nice clean break. I like to see that.
Oro and Brown both acknowledging the other's strength. No shortage of power between the two. Locking horns once again, the collar and elbow. Jockeying for position. Bill Thompson separating the two. Hey!
Oh,
wait a
excuse
minute.
me!
He's bringing it around town. The Thick Daddy likes to bring it around town.
Normally, I think that'd be a sign of disrespect, but I think Oro's just trying to get on the same page. He's feeling out Andy Brown.
Be a sign of respect. Time will tell.
Yeah.
Real recognizes real. The hips don't lie, folks.
They certainly do not, as now trying to ground Andy Brown is main man Oro. Weaves his way out, though, with that control of the arm and wrist.
These two reputed as powerhouses, but absolutely all-rounders. Both gifted with misdirectional offense, as we're seeing from the main man Oro right there. That kick staggered and startled Andy Brown simultaneously.
As now it's Oro with control of the upper body of the Thick Daddy. Andy Brown now kipping up, deep arm drag. Oh, that's right, you got to give the people what they want, that swivel of the hips.
Deep swivels, the shirt
But wait.
nearly off. Wait a minute, Oro having none of it. Cinches in the side headlock. He knows that Andy Brown draws so much power from removing that upper garment.
It's very true, just gaining the momentum and the swivel of the hips, the removal of the shirt, and the pounce!
My God, did somebody get the number on that locomotive? Andy Brown launches the main man Oro practically to the Serengeti. Oro not taken kindly. Oh! Andy Brown.
2 for the price of 1 on those chops. Andy Brown sending Oro to the outside. Oro trying to collect himself, but Brown not letting up.
And we know that this is a place where Andy Brown can really thrive. He can do some serious damage.
Oh, does some fine work on the outside,
Yeah,
really.
Really does, really does.
A visionary.
Oh, excuse
Speaking of
me.
vision.
Throwing on the shades because the future's too bright.
And now, blasted with the Yakuza kick. Andy Brown.
And it is good.
Looks good doing it. Now Andy Brown, the pressure remains. Oro sent back into the ring. But now Andy Brown.
Oh, geez, cracked right out the gate.
That snap Superman punch. Big crispy right out of the main man Oro.
Whip reversed into the corner goes Oro.
Coming in hot, Andy Brown. Oro up to the second rope now. Tornado hangs him up across the top rope. And Oro quick to follow up the springboard. Finds home with the kick.
And Oro basking in the moment, taking the adulation.
Barbs being laid out by the main man Oro, and now laying down the ground-based offense. Knee to the jaw, cover.
You have to think Oro, too, making his Blitzkrieg Pro debut. I mean, of course he's going to probably want a championship match immediately. You don't just get that. But aside from Sammy Diaz, he might be thinking this is the man to beat, right? So, yeah, he's talking a little smack. He's trying to stay on him. This would be a big statement if he could beat Andy Brown here today.
No argument. If there's no better first impression you can make than knocking off a former Bedlam champion, especially one that had the Bedlam championship tenure of Andy Brown.
Certainly did have an impressive reign. Unfortunately cut short due to injury, but Andy Brown has come back from that knee injury and just has been full force, all of his drive.
And he's wanted the best and the brightest that Blitzkrieg could bring, and Blitzkrieg has obliged in kind. Main man Oro being the latest name on that roster. Drills home the kick. Andy Brown seeing stars here. And this is wise for Oro. We know how vaunted, how gifted the striking acumen of Andy Brown is. Oro mixing up the strikes in this manner. You're keeping Andy Brown on the back foot.
And now that compromising of the breath, driving and almost a mind game too, like you said, just that challenge that Oro is presenting to Andy Brown here.
And that's the experience of Oro, too. I mean, we've seen he has some really innovative offense, but choosing instead of just try and work down Andy Brown, you've got to adapt to your opponent of who you're in there with.
Oh, no.
What the hell, man?
Woof.
Catches the strike and delivers one of his own to the Thick Daddy.
Rolls into the elbow, quick to follow up. Spine buster!
Swivels the hips and gets that Thick Daddy senton.
Daddy's home. Cover now.
Only two. Main man Oro kicking out.
But where that Thick Daddy senton goes, the package pile driver, that diving elbow, not far behind. That Thick Daddy senton is almost like a signal for the end.
No doubt about that. It's a great way to chip away at his opponent, to weaken them in a way that when he does get those final last bursts, it's enough to keep him down.
And Andy Brown, the pressure staying on. Oro trying to stay adhered to that top rope.
Oh, and now that kick connecting Andy Brown.
Magnificent equalizer from the main man. Oh my God.
What in the world?
Oh, don't.
Oh, just takes him down on the outside.
The Sambo suplex on the hardwood floor. Gnarly is an understatement. The main man Oro knows it.
Absolutely no give to that hardwood floor.
He knows he's bought himself some time now.
Andy Brown in a bad way, and Oro now trying to make best of the compromised position he has the Thick Daddy in.
And Andy Brown now. Those eyes are glazed, some fog in there. Oro now finds home with a senton of his own. Cover now. Leg hook. But only two.
And, oh no, Oro now putting a little extra offense, some extra venom. That attack on the shoulder, the Thick Daddy.
Yeah, that frustration kettle's run over its brim. If you're the main man Oro.
We've seen time and time
Defiance!
again. Oh!
That defiance from the Thick Daddy. Double birds to the face of main man Oro, who's now trying to lock in this hold again.
Yeah, the resilience of Andy Brown has really, at this point in the contest, gotten under the skin of the main man Oro. And now going back to the fundamentals. Vaunted ground game could get you very far in professional wrestling. Who knows, like Oro. Now the scissored sleeper. Andy Brown struggling to keep consciousness, and he's got to carry the weight of Oro.
Oro shaking his head, but he can't prevent Andy Brown from getting back to his feet. Using that turnbuckle to try and force a break. Oh, but now setting to it himself.
Snap DDT. Finds home. Cover now.
Brown kicks out.
Dangerously close.
Oro regains that high positional ground. Andy Brown, complete instinct, rolling over to that bottom rope. He needs a breather. Oro.
Oh, looking again to do some dangerous work out here on the outside. Andy Brown now.
That Sambo suplex on the floor again, but Andy Brown not having it.
Driving those back elbows. And sends Oro flying across the hardwood floor. How do you like it?
Pops the hips into the T-bone suplex. That may have been our greatest equalizer in this contest yet.
And Oro, you can see the grimace of pain on the face of the main man as Andy Brown has brought himself some very valuable recovery time.
Sure, but I mean, at what cost? I mean, Andy Brown hit that floor pretty hard, you know, maybe not taking all of it the way that Oro did, but certainly doing some wear and tear to his own body. Risk versus reward here.
Andy Brown, he's seen his share of sacrifices during his tenure at Blitzkrieg Pro. This the latest. Referee Bill Thompson laying down the count. Approaching the halfway point of the dreaded 10 count.
As both combatants trying to find their way around ringside.
Brown.
We are inching closer and closer to what could be a count out. And now locking eyes from across the ring. And rolling back into this contest, main man Oro, Thick Daddy Andy Brown, BP Actin Up.
It just goes to show how much this bout means to these two. Two hellacious spills to the floor, back in the ring. These gas tanks are running low, but the pedals are to the floor. Main man Oro, Andy Brown.
The fire in these strikes are at an all-time high.
High caliber gunslingers airing out the armory, picking up speed.
Back and forth we go, and neither budging.
Watch those feet, neither one giving any ground. Oro finally. The crack appears in the armor. Oro on rubber legs.
Ooh. The fire in the eyes of both combatants as back we go.
Clubbing, blows, back and forth continue.
Oh, no.
Oh, the chin catching up.
Oh.
The chin checked again. Main man Oro stacking up the rights.
Oh, the headbutt! Another sacrifice play!
Oh, but rolls on through that capo kick.
Andy Brown staggered, but able to reverse. Ducks the blow, does Oro Manson, and connected out of midair!
My God, a sniper in his own right, and now hooking it up.
And plants him, sits out with it!
The Tiger Bomb, the cover.
Only a 2 count!
First the roaring elbow, now the Tiger Driver. Andy Brown fueled by the late Mitsuharu Misawa, clearly. And now we are back at base camp, back at sea level. The main man Oro, Andy Brown. Something's gotta give, folks.
I am certainly surprised that wasn't just a knockout victory. Cannot believe that Oro had the wherewithal to kick out. He is still in this contest. Andy Brown, though, to his feet first and maybe calling for the end.
Oro's in the drop zone, if you will.
Looking to finish him, but clubbed!
Fastball down the pipe with that clothesline from Oro. Dragon suplex!
And into the cover, wasting no time. And Andy Brown almost rolled all the way through to get his shoulders out from under that pinfall.
Hard landed, constricting the neck of Andy Brown, but still able to answer our referee's count. Oro now eyeing that turnbuckle.
Oro now, you can see the fuel in his eyes as he's got that hammerlock cinched in. Andy Brown breaks it, drives the knee, up the jaw.
And now, gut wrench, Oro out the back door, finds home with the super kick. Now rolled on up, heavy stack.
Andy Brown forced to give all of that much more effort. Oh my gosh, trying to make Andy Brown's foot touch his head.
He is not supposed to bend like that.
Variation on the stretch muffler, stretches in all capitals.
Andy Brown, he's got his hand out, he's wagging his finger, he's saying no. But how much, at what point does his body give out?
Unless we forget, what was the body part injured during that long layoff? That knee.
Andy Brown, though, can he make it? He's inching toward the ropes, trying to force a break, and he does. Main man Oro relinquishes the hold, but at how much damage has already been done?
To a knee that's already been through the rigors of professional wrestling for Andy Brown. Oro now clearly did his homework.
No doubt about that, and now another precarious situation here on the apron.
Dangerous ground. Oro's got Brown hooked up. Could be a pile driver, could be a power bomb.
No. Brown off his feet. And the Thick Daddy struggling again to ground himself. Blitzkrieg faithful know it. He's too thick.
Andy Brown hooking up a bomb, a driver of his own.
Oh, wait a second, anchoring himself though on that top rope was Oro.
Climbs into the enziguri. Andy Brown uncorks with the big clothesline.
Sending Oro back into the ring. Andy Brown now climbing up.
Andy Brown though in a precarious place on that top rope, and
finds home with the backflip scorpion kick. And now Oro hooking up Andy Brown, that hammerlock once again, right into the capo kick.
Oh,
Great.
no. That could be it for Andy Brown. Oro, no!
Oh!
Vic Daddy proving that he is still in this fight.
That hammerlock setup did not allow Andy Brown to put the brakes on, and now back to that stretch muffler variation.
After all of that damage, he's trying to get Andy Brown into a situation where his body just gives up.
Andy Brown trying to post on both forearms. He's already been on the receiving end of this hold while down flat. Wants no part of that. Oro face first into the turnbuckle. Andy Brown now
with a rebound cutter.
Caught him.
And now center of the crosshairs.
And finish him.
Will it though? The cover.
That is it.
Magnificent showing. The best is yet to come for both of these combatants. Please run this one back, because my God, what a war we just witnessed. Uptown, Andy Brown victorious over the main man Oro here at Blitzkrieg Pros Actin Up.